No, we started with nothing in humble beginnings. They wanna fuck with me now cause I'm winning. Chasing this chicken cause I'm on a mission. I'm known for get money and standing on business. Chasing this chicken, I ran up a ticket. Chasing this chicken, I ran up a ticket. Chasing this chicken, I ran up a ticket. Keep that shit coming, they know how we living. Come from the struggle, got lost in the hustle. Straight out the mud, no, I compliment couples. Chasing big bills just to keep this shit subtle. You ain't on my team if you wasn't in the huddle. Chasing this chicken, I ran up a ticket. Chasing this chicken, I ran up a ticket. Chasing this chicken, I ran up a ticket. Keep that shit coming, they know that I'm with it. I fit the description, I'm the definition. I'm what they prescribe like she seen a physician. She wanna ride cause she seen how we getting it. Big ol' booty, she my passenger princess. She like to argue, she don't like to listen. She bougie and toxic, she fine and she picky. Pretty and sedity, she get recognition. Matching nails and toes, man, she always French tip 'em. Parking lot pimpin' when we in the city. Don't ask her about twine, she twerk on the engine. She eat the dick in the car cause it's tinted. She pay me attention like she get commission. Pimpin' CEO, so I give her the business. She ride on the dick like she doing some fitness. She make the dick disappear like she magician. She like to swallow, man, she love when I finish. Having motion, man, you know I got plenty. Bitches choosing cause they know that I'm winning. Seen some thousands, now I'm after some millions. So all my houses come with chandelier ceilings. Pillow talking, man, that shit just ain't in me. Keep it pimpin', I can't do no pretending. Jealous hearted, man, you know I ain't with it. Cuffin' hoes, I can't do no commit. No, we started with nothing in humble beginnings. They wanna fuck with me now cause I'm winning. Chasing this chicken cause I'm on a mission. I'm known for get money and standing on business. Chasing this chicken, I ran up a ticket. Chasing this chicken, I ran up a ticket. Chasing this chicken, I ran up a ticket. Keep that shit coming, they know how we living. Come from the struggle, got lost in the hustle. Straight out the mud, no, I compliment couples. Chasing big bills just to keep this shit subtle. Keep that shit coming, they know that I'm
I know I had an echo. Hold on. I had an echo. All right, there we go. No echo. All right. Why y'all didn't let me know I had an echo on the whole damn intro, man? Double tap that screen, shut a live out, man. Why y'all didn't let me know I had a echo on that whole damn intro, man? Damn.
I'm a saint, but I sin. I checked in the game to win. I left, she loving me again. I let her cry out the bins and they say time heal. Mine still felt like it was yesterday. I was moving fast, probably too fast to even catch the play. Spent the night, she pack a bag, right to me, just getting gas. Coming back, I want it bad. I'ma touch it first, eat it last, it's temporary. Holly damn emotion said it's temporary. My pain deeper than the ocean. Temporary feelings mixed with temporary pleasures. All these temporary moments and these temporary treasures. Temporary circumstances to temporary measures. Temporary friends and even temporary schedules. Temporary smiles and temporary goals. Temporary women sliding on temporary poles. Temporary comments and temporary trolls. I just pray that God bless me. Ain't no temporary souls. I'm a saint, but I sin. I checked in the game to win. I left, she loving me again. I let her cry out the bins and they say time heal. Mine still felt like it was yesterday. I was moving fast, probably too fast to even catch the play. Spent the night, she pack a bag, right to me, just getting gas. Coming back, I want it bad. I'ma touch it first, eat it last, it's temporary. Holly damn emotion said it's temporary. My pain deeper than the ocean.
Or stupid.
Double tap that screen, shut a live out, man. Double tap that screen, shut a live out. We still fighting the shadow ban, so I need y'all's help to help get us out that shadow ban. That's why we live this morning, man. We trying to switch it up a little bit. That's what I'm not getting, though. I'm not getting how they're not sending out.
Joining us now, senior political commentators, S.E. Cup.
All right, Chad, we're going to get straight into it because we're not going to be here long. We just finna go through a couple things. I'm trying to get back in the algorithm. But they said last night Trump got up at 4:30 this morning talking shit. So we finna get into it.
Comments one bit. Now, the concerns raised include the pause in sanctions allowing Iran to sell oil immediately, the lack of specifics on curbing Iran's nuclear program, the opening for Iran to ultimately charge fees for ships to transit the Strait of Hormuz, and beyond the text of the plan, criticisms of the new comments that the president himself made suggesting Iran should be allowed to have missiles even though one of the stated goals of the whole war was to destroy their missiles. Listen now to the critics.
Now, I don't want to see theocratic Islamists who want to kill us made stronger. So if this deal is giving them $300 billion, that's a mistake.
They're better off than they were before the hostilities began. And that should not be the consequence of war.
Some calling it an American surrender, saying it's even worse than the Obama deal of 2015. Now, Nikki Haley called it a, quote, huge mistake to pay to rebuild the threat we just destroyed. Senator Ted Cruz told the Daily Wire he felt like Trump was getting very poor advice and called it ill-advised. In the meantime, Senator Bill Cassidy took it one step further.
This will go down as a tremendous foreign policy blunder. Iran ends up stronger. Our allies in the region are weaker. And Iran has learned that if they're willing to grab that Strait of Hormuz and choke it off, they can get the Western world to dance to their tune. I think it's a deep mistake.
How do you know the president doesn't like these comments? Around 4:30 a.m. this morning, he wrote, quote, these fools who think I haven't been tough enough on Iran are either jealous, bad people, or stupid.
Joining us now, CNN political commentators S.E.
Talking about the stock market just hit an all-time high. Well, yes, Iran is going to end up stronger over the long term because of this deal, and it's kind of crazy to me.
Former Trump White House Communications Director Anthony Scaramucci, author of the upcoming book, All the Wrong Moves, How Three Catastrophic Decisions Led to the Rise of Trump, and Republican strategist Brad Todd. Anthony, what do you think of the deal?
Well, it's so hard to believe that I actually thought it can't be true. And we look through the numbers, like, okay, there's no way that this is the deal. And I think he's pinned now because the reaction is so bad that he'll now start lying about it and saying, okay, that wasn't really the deal. Go look at this shiny object over here and let's pretend that that's not the deal. So the market thus far has not reacted poorly, but I expect it to as this unfolds.
He also seems to be now kind of pointing the finger at J.D. Vance a little bit, kind of almost kind of setting him up as the fall guy.
Yeah, I think in the beginning of the war, you'll probably remember, it seemed like he was setting up Pete Hegseth, right? Remember, he pointed at Pete in a meeting and he was like, this was Pete's idea. Seems like he's shifted to J.D. Vance now owns, I guess, the conclusion of this war, where Pete maybe owns the beginning. But listen, for a lot of Republicans, myself a former Republican included, we have a long memory of the JCPOA, and I remember the condemnation of that for good reason. It wasn't a great deal. Next to that deal, this looks like the Magna Carta of deals. Like, this looks like a treaty. I mean, or that looked like the Magna Carta of deals next to Trump's. It's just so bad. It doesn't leave us with much of anything we didn't have before.
Nah, this isn't. This an early morning for me. I got up so I could get on live. We gotta fight this shadow ban. So I'm gonna have to put time in to fight this shadow ban, regardless.
In fact, our economy is weaker. Our allies and our enemies don't trust our might anymore. We've watched Trump capitulate on a bunch of things. I just don't see how he can stay faced with this if the details stay as they are.
Anderson, I want you to imagine a scenario where the Obama administration, the Biden administration created $1 trillion of economic damage, $1 billion a day to fight a war. When the war was over, the straits closed, and we're going to give $300 billion of reparations, and nothing resolved on the nuclear situation.
And if Biden had been praising.
And what do we say about the reparations? See, everybody want to call, it's not reparations, it's a reconstruction plan. Reparations, restitution, reconstruction, $300 billion to Iran this damn week. I don't know when it's coming, but it just sounded cool to say it, man. $300 billion, reparations, restitution, reconstruction. It don't matter how the cookie fucking crumbles, man. They getting the damn money.
Nothing resolved on the nuclear situation.
And if Biden had been praising, like, the mullahs and the leaders there.
It's okay to have missiles. Everybody's got a few missiles here and there. There would be outrage like you can't believe. So I guess the big question is, how does Trump still get away with it? What is it about his Teflon that allows him to get away with something like this? And I think as we get closer to the midterms and over the midterms, despite his stronghold on the primary voters in the Republican Party, I think the traditional Republicans are going to really break from him.
Hey, they got Rubio standing in the back, bro. Y'all see Rubio back there looking like he's a damn mob boss or something. Look at Rubio looking like a top shotter in the background, man. Rubio look like he ready to pull out that 40, don't he?
I want to play what President Trump said actually about J.D. Vance.
There's some element to this where you send the vice president. If it works out, great, you look like a genius for sending him. And if it doesn't work out, it's the vice president.
I like that idea, sure. Well, this way, if it works out, I'm going to take the credit. If it doesn't work out, I'm blaming J.D. You better be careful, J.D.
Hey, he mean that shit too. Look at Mark Levin over there laughing like, oh shit, he said this sounds loud. Look at Marco Rubio. Hey, Marco Rubio trying his hardest not to smile. Marco Rubio know good and damn well it could have been him. It should have been him. The Secretary of State, this shit should have been, he could have, just as well as he's throwing this shit off on J.D. Vance, and he thought about throwing it off on P. Hegseth. Oh, Rubio, this shit could be you, and it might be you in Cuba. Might be what they do is throw your ass under the bus in Cuba. Look at Rubio. Rubio's not fucking smiling. Look at Howard Lutnick over there. He's all fucking teeth and ears and shit, and Rubio's not having it. He's not having it.
He's going to turn his plane around and get the hell out of here. Yeah, I like that idea. I think it's a good idea.
Brad, Republican Senator Bill Cassidy also said that this agreement is going to leave Iran stronger, our allies weaker. There's precedent for Iran to use control over the Strait of Hormuz as leverage. Hit
the like button, chat.
Do you think that's a fair assessment?
Well, I think the president should have said the vice president didn't read the art of the MOU. I don't know about the art of the deal here yet. And this is just a memorandum of understanding. I certainly hope the final deal will be better. And I think
you think there's going to be a final deal?
There's a right to be skeptical, but there are some carrots in there for the Iranians at the end of a final deal, which is the U.S. forces don't have to leave the region until 30 days after a final deal. Hopefully that this final deal will be worth leaving over. This certainly is not.
I don't think Trump wants to fire J.D. Vance. I think Trump doesn't want J.D. Vance to be president. It's not about firing J.D. Vance. It's about having a scapegoat. I don't think Trump cares whether J.D. Vance is president next or not. I don't think he cares to fire him. It's all about having a scapegoat, man. Trump doesn't give a fuck. Nobody's safe. Nobody's safe. Trump would throw anybody in that White House under the fucking bus. Nobody's safe.
I've in touch with a lot of Republican elected officials and candidates, and I've not heard one of them today say that what they've heard so far on this MOU is a good idea. I think that's an indication that it's a political problem. And, the president's not on the ballot anymore, but the vice president might want to run one day, and I think it could be a very big political problem for him in the future.
Do either of you see there actually being a nuclear agreement? I mean, Ellen Iyer was like 60 days, 120 days, doesn't matter the length of time. There's not really leverage over the Iranian regime.
Just by way of
see, the 60-day, 120-day mark is big because he's referencing the stock markets. Now, once SpaceX fully unlocks, like once they have everything on the market, all the liquidity's out there, man, it's about to get crazy because those people who are in on them shares for $10, $15 are about to sell. What did it just dropped like what, 3, 4, 5% yesterday, man? Listen, SpaceX has an unlock in August. It has another unlock, I believe in October, and then by 180 days, all of it's gonna be unlocked. And there's gonna be enormous selling pressure. Right now, there's enormous buying pressure because everything's locked up. But as these unlocks come out, there's going to be enormous selling pressure. It's going to be fucking crazy, bro.
Example, the JCPOA took 2 years to ratify that deal, to come to these specifics, because the devil's always in the details with these. And Iran is patient. Iran has been planning and preparing for a war of attrition with the United States for 20 years. They are cheering this deal. And I think if they think that they...
Yeah, a car note is how much you paying for your car. A car loan, car payment, car whatever. Where I'm from, we call that shit a car note.
They can actually walk Trump over the finish line because he is desperate, he's tired, he's bored of this, and it's a midterm election year. I think that's what they're hoping for. They're holding out that they can actually walk him across the finish line on these details.
Anthony, do you think this affects the midterms at all?
I think on the margin it affects the midterms because the midterms to me still is going to be about affordability. And I don't think anything gets done here. And I think there'll be higher oil prices leading into the midterms. And if the Democrats can get it together and coalesce, they have a big statement against the president and his party.
But it's not just the Democrats. You're absolutely right about that. It's Republicans. You've already mentioned a bunch of Republicans
they'll start
who are mad about it.
They'll start breaking.
It's not just congressional Republicans who are up for re-election. Trump doesn't seem to care. It's also voters. It's Republican voters who didn't want this war, who don't want the consequences of this war, namely higher gas prices. They don't want any part of this. So I think it will have kind of a ripple effect for the midterms.
I would agree and disagree with SC on that, Anderson. I think the war most Republicans did want to back the war. They do want to take out Iran. I think it's one place I disagree with this.
You said your insurance, you got a reckless charge. Yeah, that's crazy. Listen, chat, I had a wreck in Texas, man. When I was in Texas, I had a wreck, bro. They raised my insurance through the fucking roof, bro. I'm talking about that shit was crazy, bro. I had to get my insurance back in Arkansas. It was over with, bro. I had to get some different insurance, man. That shit was too high, bro. Texas has some of the highest insurance rates in the country, and they're not bullshit. I'm just gonna be honest with you. They're not bullshit, bro.
See on it, but
they try to charge me like damn near, like not damn near, yeah, damn near $600 for one vehicle, bro. They try to charge me damn near $600 to cover one vehicle after my wreck. Crazy.
Is a pressure on the Republican coalition. There is a foreign policy wing of the Republican coalition, and they're really capitalist suburbanites, and they've not always been Trump's biggest fans. I don't think this will help him with them. And then there are more blue-collar people who are very cost-sensitive on local affairs and economic affairs. I think this potentially could help with them. But this is you don't want to be talking about half your coalition being happy with anything. And I think if the final deal is not better, this is a real electoral problem for the president.
It also seems like...
But even then, Chad, my truck note is not expensive. I kept my truck note under $300 for sure. I got a decent truck. It's not, I mean, I'm blessed to have it. Let's put it that way. We count our blessings over here. I'm blessed to have my vehicle. I do have a few cash cars, some old schools and shit that's paid off, motorcycle paid off. But I wasn't going to have a $500 truck note. I wasn't going to have a $600 truck note. I wasn't going to have a $400 truck note. It was what it was, man.
There was an administration official which talked about kind of a gentleman's agreement with Iran about certain aspects of the negotiations, and that the U.S. official told CNN either side could walk away from talks over the next 60 days.
A lot of this seems to be like honor system, which, again, should make everyone deeply suspicious. There were some provisions in Obama's deal, for example, the supposed...
Man, I remember when the Navigator first came out, Fitness. When the Navigator first came out, it was that, bro. Like, don't get me wrong, Navigators are nice as hell now. Like, the new ones are nice. But when the Navigator first came out, bro, it was crazy, bro. That's when people were playing Midnight Club, Dub Edition, everybody riding Escalades on DUBs. Then they dropped that Navi. Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
Supposedly anytime, anywhere inspections ended up giving Iran 24 days delay for them to hide stuff before inspectors came. Like, Iran's good at this. They are good at getting these carve-outs into these deals. So Iran is going to be patient. Iran is going to wait. And I think they like this framework so far.
Anderson, when the Iranians call this an exemplification of America's failure, the deal, is that part of the gentleman's agreement, or is that non-gentlemanly?
Anthony, I mean, somebody who knows the president, worked for him. How does he look? Like, how does he seem to you? Just in talking, maybe he's been traveling internationally. His schedule is grueling.
Listen, I'm not in the president's got dementia camp. I think he's healthy. For an 80-year-old, that he has a prodigious level of energy. He went from a UFC fight on Saturday to France.
Yeah, it's grueling.
And so you got to give him credit for all that. But what I really think the problem is they're afraid of him. And there's a decision-making committee.
The people around him are afraid.
Yeah, there's a decision-making committee of one. And they don't want to get in his crosshairs. They don't want to get fired. They like to...
Let's keep it all the way real here. Trump is one of the most famous, infamous people on the earth right now. You pick. Either one. He can be the most famous or the most infamous. You pick. He's had, quote unquote, all these attacks on his life. He's doing all of these deals. He's a billionaire. Trump is fucking paranoid. You damn right them people around him are scared. Man, do you know how fucking paranoid Trump is, man? Have y'all ever thought about that shit? Like, how paranoid is Trump? Trump has to be paranoid. It's no fucking way. It's no fucking... All of the trying to send him to jail, the 37 felonies, the damn assassination attempts, the making all of this money in one term, the crypto regulations, the Epstein files, fucking dealing with all of these Trump paranoid as a motherfucker. Let's just cut it out. Trump paranoid as a motherfucker. And he's acting like he paranoid.
The significance of being around him and flying around on the big plane. And so if Abraham Lincoln had a team of rivals, the president has a hall of mirrors, and they're all trying to reflect to him what he wants. And I think it's very dangerous because
lunatic?
Straight shooters would go to him and say, well, this is a disaster. Let's get in a room with a group of negotiators and let's game theory what we need to do to better our position here.
But you know him particularly well in terms of his salesmanship. I don't think he bothered to sell this war.
Yeah.
Oh, obviously not. No, I mean that was a big problem with the NATO coalition.
SC Cup, Anthony Scaramucci, thanks, Brad Todd as well.
Let's get to CNN's Betsy Klein live at the White House this morning. Might not be a happy morning there for the president as he is now back from the G7.
Damn, lunatic, your truck notice $13.75 a month. What the fuck you got, man? You got a Cummins in that motherfucker? Like, what do you have, man? Hey, at $13.75 a month, this motherfucker better be a Freightliner, bro. I'm talking about, listen, it better be a Freightliner, bro. Like, what are we, the Allison transmission and a damn Cummins in that motherfucker for $13.75? We got to be getting some real chicken out this thing. What are you talking about?
Yeah, John, when the president was in France yesterday holding this press conference, he had one very specific goal, and that was to convince a skeptical public, including Republicans, that this deal that he had reached with Iran was both different from the Obama-era Iran deal and a good deal for the United States. Now, he says that it's going to prevent Iran from procuring or producing a nuclear weapon, and that it will reopen the Strait of Hormuz. The president's seeking to defend the waivers that allow Iran to export oil and the provision that commits the U.S. and regional partners to developing a $300 billion reconstruction and economic development fund that he says the U.S. will not provide any money to. But he also said, very revealing comments, that he is in part signing this agreement to avoid economic catastrophe by ending this conflict. He said if it had gone on any...
I'm just gonna be real. $1,300, man. That thing should be bulletproof, bro. For $1,400 a month, man, that thing should be bulletproof. Any truck that's $1,400 a month, it's gotta be bulletproof, bro. It's gotta be bulletproof, bro. I need listen, man. I need the doors on the back, no glass, man. Listen, man. $1,400 a month, bro. We better be safe as a motherfucker in here.
Longer, it could have led to that, and also said that he didn't want to be Herbert Hoover, of course referring to the U.S. president who presided over the Great Depression. But the president signing a hard copy of this agreement last night during a dinner at the Palace of Versailles before returning to Washington overnight. What's unclear now is whether this deal has actually started that 60-day clock for the more technical discussions on Iran's nuclear material. The president has suggested himself that deadline is flexible. Meanwhile, the White House fielding new criticism about this deal, including in Iran, where one newspaper says that the U.S. has suffered, quote, a glorious defeat, and from lawmakers, including Senator Ted Cruz, who warned it could be a mistake, as well as Senator Bill Cassidy of Louisiana, who has sparred with the White House recently. He said in a post to social media that it could be the worst foreign policy blunder in decades. Now, Vice President J.D. Vance is expected to travel to Switzerland, where he is going to meet with Iran as well as mediators Pakistan and Qatar. They are going to have initial talks about implementation of this deal, according to the Swiss, John.
His comments about Herbert Hoover seem to be a tacit admission that Iran's economic strategy might have been working. Betsy Klein at the White House this morning. We will see what more the president has to say if he gets back on social media. Thank you.
All right, let's get into this Steven Crowder talk, man. Let's get into what the fuck Steven Crowder's talking about, man. Steven Crowder been pissing me off lately. I ain't gonna lie, bro. Miss Bones, what's wrong with your boy, man? But what's wrong with your boy, man? Y'all come get Steven Crowder, man. Get this dude, man.
We are put in a position by a bigger master to be taught not to fuck with each other. So you as the model minority always see us as beneath you.
Median household income today, Asian, $123,000. Black, $47,000. Hey, fatherless rate, Asian, only 16%. Black, 63%. Whew. Let's look at homework per week. Asian, no surprise here, they do 134 minutes on average. Black, 36. I don't hear them saying they're better than you and you're beneath them. I hear maybe you feeling that way. You guys know Killer Mike? Probably not. He's a hip-hop artist, done some good stuff, and he's been dining out on that for a very long time. He's largely an activist, and sometimes people give him a pass because he'll say the right thing, and like he's a Second Amendment advocate. But then when you understand that it's very often...
This crazy. Okay, so we got to break this down so far. Listen. He's talking about Killer Mike, nobody knows him. Now, okay, Killer Mike had won Best Rap Album of the Year. I mean, that's kind of a fucking accolade that damn near nobody will win. Best rap album of the year. Killer Mike had one of those. So that's just a little reference for y'all.
And
what's
only
up,
because
Max?
he thinks the Second Amendment needs to be used for black people to protect against white people.
Oh.
You realize he doesn't have the ability to read crime statistics. And then the more you listen to him, you realize that he is intensely racist and effectively wrong about everything. His latest tirade is about Asians and how blacks and Asians can't get along, but it's the fault of the Asians.
But this is the thing, though. You see this? Listen how Steven Crowder's talking about the black community. He's saying that he's talking about the income, he's talking about the crime rates, and then where he fucked up right here, this is where Steven Crowder messed up, is when he said that the Asians don't say anything about the black. Exactly. If the Asians have nothing to say about blacks and the Asians are in the black communities because they have the stores and shit there, blacks must not be that much of a problem. Why the fuck we don't hear Asians speaking about it? And then that goes back in, come on, we'll get into the rest of this shit later. I haven't even watched none of this really. I watched like the first 20 seconds of it. Crowder been pissing me off lately. Ms. Bones, come get your boy, man. If the black community can't be that bad if the Asians aren't complaining about it, right? Isn't that what he just said? You don't hear the Asians talking about it, saying that they're better. They don't say nothing. They don't complain. They go to work. They do what the fuck they got to do.
At a certain point, maybe Killer Mike can ask, is it me? Time for Claim Truth.
The answer is yes, it is him.
Yeah. The first claim, and this we showed you this clip not that long ago, the Asian shopkeeper, Rick Chow.
Which, by the way, great name for a wrestler.
It really is, yeah. Rick Chow. That's perfect. Rick, it's time to chow.
It's chow time.
It's chow time.
Dun, 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 dun.
His move is like the chop suey or something.
Yeah.
Takes two sticks. And
his secret weapon is, chopsticks.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you
right.
beat me to it.
Oh, he an anchor baby? Is Steven Crowder an anchor baby? That's crazy, man. Is his family from the U.S. or is they from Canada? He's an anchor baby?
Rick Chow, shopkeeper, he protected himself. He shot a young black man, and he got off because it was self-defense. So this is the jumping off point.
That's bullshit because he shouldn't have been chasing the black man. He shouldn't have been chasing the young black man. They said that the young black man stole 2 bottles of water. So he chased him out of the store, and allegedly the young boy dropped his gun and picked it up and some shit went on. He shouldn't have been chasing him because the water remained in the store. He didn't steal anything. So why is he being chased unwarranted? He got ran down unwarranted. Ran down unwarranted. What the fuck are we talking about here?
Killer Mike, this is showing us a problem with Asians and blacks, and they can just get away with anything.
I saw a black child, South Carolina, walked out of a store.
He had a
when
gun.
confronted, showed I don't have anything.
Didn't do his hands.
Chased out of that store.
No,
and
reached
shot
his
in
hands
the back
in his pockets.
and killed. Nothing has changed.
Nothing has changed. No.
That man was let off the case.
Had that store owner minding his fucking business, it wouldn't have been no shit. He might have had a gun on him. I don't know. He might have had a gun on him, but at that time, he's saying, hey, look, why the fuck are you bothering me? I didn't try to rob your store. I didn't steal anything out of your store. Why the fuck are you bothering me? Why the fuck do I have to prove this shit? Now that I'm proving that I don't have anything, I haven't stolen anything from you, now I'm the aggressor. This is that common law shit, bro. This is, it used to be on the books that blacks couldn't protect themselves. This is that kind of mentality. The fuck do you mean? Leave me alone. I didn't steal nothing out of your store. Why is this a situation? Obviously, you're not doing your fucking job. You failed at doing your job and confronted me, and now the kid's dead because you failed at your job.
Here's the truth. A jury found that Chow had defended his son's life. And here's some other details we didn't really get into. They confronted that young black man. They always say boy. The young black man pulled a gun on Chow's son after they chased him. They thought that he had stolen something. By the way, they have been robbed many times at gunpoint at the store, as many shopkeepers, bodega.
What the fuck does that have to do with him? And now you're talking about Rob. That's where these people try to frame this conversation. These content creators. When I say these people, I mean these content creators. That's where they try to frame this conversation, because stealing and robbing are two different things. So they chased them out of the store because they thought they stole. What the fuck does that have to do with them being robbed all of these times like bodega owners? That has nothing to do with being stealing and robbing are two different things. And he did neither. He did neither, so he shouldn't have been confronted. He did not steal. He did not rob. Why was he confronted? Why was he put in that situation?
The owners are. Chow shot Belton, the young black man, in self-defense. Now, here's the other thing that they don't tell you. Chow then rendered aid to Belton while his son called 911. He even kept...
Lunatic Libertarian comes through supporting the channel and said, all centralized systems are failed. Hate never develops love. Thank you for always supporting the channel, Lunatic Libertarian. All centralized systems are definitely failed, and hate does not develop love at all. What's up,
He even kept the young
Ivan?
black man's airway clear by sucking the vomit out of his mouth, and then immediately cooperated with authorities. All of this was known by the jury, to be clear. Also, Belton had a gun. So it comes down to his word against his word. He said, she said. Black said, Asian said.
He shouldn't have been confronted. That's where you are passing over all of this. This entire situation is because he was a YN. The moment he walked into that store, all eyes was on him. They thought he was going to steal. They expected him to steal. They went so far as to accuse him and chase him for stealing, because the moment he walked in that store, they had made a decision that he wasn't going to be a regular customer. It happens. I've been in the stores, chat, with $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 in my pocket, and I've still been followed around the store. I used to do ignorant shit, like spend dumb amounts of money just to prove a point. Like, bitch, I don't gotta steal in here. Why are you following me? I'll up a bankroll on them. Like, look, man, do you want to see me spend some money in this motherfucker, man? What are you following me for? I came in here to do some business. It's crazy, bro.
And you look at one who seemed to do everything he could to try and save the child's life. It's an unfortunate situation. These things happen, especially someone who's been the target of violent assault or the victim of violent assault, as this shopkeeper was. So that's what actually happened, by the way. But he uses this as a jumping off point to make broad generalizations while accusing white people and Asians of being prejudiced. Let's contrast that with Carmelo Anthony. Anthony was somewhere he shouldn't be, was asked to leave. He stabbed someone in the chest when asked to leave. Maybe he was gently pressed on the shoulder after asked 15 times, and then he tried to dish the murder weapon. Not the same thing. Not the same thing at all. This is a jumping off point to go to all the other claims from Killer Mike. So put him in the same category as Bill Maher. Occasionally he might say something that you think has him coming around. He's not. He's not.
Another thing, back to the Carmelo situation. He shouldn't have been touched. Straight up, yes, he's in the wrong area. People moved his stuff. 1, why are you touching my belongings? Go get in the door. 2, when I come back over here, you're telling me to leave repeatedly. Go get in the door. 3, I say, don't touch me. Or Carmelo says, don't touch me. Don't fucking touch me. Allegedly called them pussies. I don't know how true that is. But regardless, don't touch me. He gets shoved. Shit pops off. Come on, man. At some point, man, we got to look at this shit in full. Yes, a tragedy happened. Yes, someone lost their life. But the way that they're framing these situations on both sides, the way this shit's getting framed is crazy. It's crazy. Who was the authority figure there?
This guy is obsessed with race. And the more you watch any of
Obsessed with race is crazy. Steven Crowder, like, what? Killer Mike actually raps. He actually does some other shit, man. Steven Crowder, you get on YouTube like I get on YouTube. It's just that everything you talk about has a race into it. You get on YouTube and downplay and bash the black community every fucking chance you get. It's part of the show now. That's why I pull this shit up, so I can critique you and straighten this shit the fuck out, because ain't nobody else gonna do it. At this point, Steven Crowder's infatuated with niggas. He loves niggas.
of his previous content. A very hateful person. Here's the second claim. Is that Asians always see black people as beneath them, and that's a problem.
It's not enough to just hate the other person anymore. It's not enough to just hate the Asian store and burn them down and boycott them.
Well, that was never enough.
And I do think all of that. I'm at a point now where I'm just like, enough. Oh. We can't fuck with y'all. Y'all don't fuck with us, and it's obvious. And we are put in a position by a bigger master to be taught not to fuck with each other. So
in this situation, I'm a little out of my box. I didn't grow up around a lot of Asians. I didn't grow up around Asians where I'm at. So the Asian footprint where I'm from is minimal. I'm just gonna be honest with you. So I do understand that Asians don't like dating outside of their race, and if you're gonna date outside your race, probably better be a white man, but that's about it. I don't know much about Asians and all of that, you know. I didn't grow up in a very diverse place. Where I grew up, it was very much so black and white. It wasn't a lot of Latinos, wasn't a lot of Asians, wasn't a lot of Africans. It was FBAs and white people.
You as the model minority always see us as beneath you.
Now, by the way, just to be clear, I understand that might be hard.
But we can go to the damn Asian baby doll shit. So when we're going to talk about the Asian hating shit, we got to be honest. It's the trend going on right now where the Asians are buying little black baby dolls and just beating them. Throwing them, stomping them, like harming, like just getting a little black baby doll specifically to harm. They're going so far as to going all the way to Africa to like swing actual babies around and shit, acting like they're gonna hurt them for content. That is a viral trend right now. We're not gonna ignore it.
Hard to decipher because this is something people do. They try and create new, like, to F with somebody used to be don't F with him. It meant to mess with somebody, to do something undesirable. But now they'll say it like, yo, I F with Coca-Cola, meaning I like it, but
I got I think I had one Asian friend growing up. He used to play O-line. I played quarterback growing up, Chad. So he was right guard. He was right guard. You know, he played right guard, and he was smart as hell. He actually just got in a car accident, man. Prayers to my friend, man. Prayers to my friend. I hope he does make a full recovery, man. Damn. He played right guard for me, man. Really, really smart dude.
it also means I don't F with, as in I don't like it. So they just try and create this new vernacular and say that you don't understand. It's a language for themselves. It's stupid. Words have meaning and phrases have meanings, especially when it's already an idiom or colloquialism. So what he really means to say is, I'm done being around Asians. I don't want to spend time with them, and they're probably done with me. Here's the truth. It's a completely subjective and unintelligible statement or premise from him that Asians, I guess, think they're above black people. But let's look at this objectively. I can understand why.
Yeah, it's pretty bad too. I think they said he broke both his legs, and I think he has some kind of abdominal bleeding and some shit going on. So it's real serious, man. Damn.
Killer Mike might feel this way because black Americans and Asian Americans kind of started off at the same spot pre-civil rights. And Asian Americans, having faced discrimination in a similar timeline, certainly the most comparable here in the United States, have outpaced the growth, progress, and success of black Americans for reasons that I guess your guess is as good as mine. Let's look at pre-civil rights earnings. Filipino earnings were about 39% less than whites. I'm using that because if you go to the data, go check the reference, they didn't have.
But that's the thing. Steven Crowder is never going to acknowledge this, but there's a buffer class. It's a class system. It's always been a class system, and there are buffer classes. Like, let's be fucking real here. Come on, Steven Crowder. Come on now.
Like this broad category of Asians, for some reason, Filipino was very specific. Black earnings, 40.
Because what's crazy about it is that he's not going to talk about the Latino community like this. He's not going to talk about the Muslim community like this. He's creating this social buffer himself without even realizing it. Because when he talks about minorities, he's very bigoted in his stances. He doesn't listen to the way he's talking about Asians. He does not talk about Latinos like that. He does not talk about the Muslim communities and those people like that. He doesn't talk about the Arabs like that. He only talks about the buffer class.
43% less than white. So both right around 40%. That's a rounding error. Now let's look at the earnings data today. Filipino earnings, 14% more than whites. Black Americans, same spot, 39% less than whites.
Wow.
So you can just say, well, it's because they've been kept up. But they weren't? But this group wasn't? Because here's the thing. You're crapping on the group that found a way out of it.
Surely if it was race related, we would have held back the Spanish Asians.
You would think so.
Yeah.
Median household income today, Asian, $123,000. Black, $47,000.
That's the difference. You couldn't do that at a certain point. Once globalization kicked in, this is why I come here to give y'all the real from a black American perspective. Now, y'all can agree with me, y'all can disagree with me. I don't care. Hold my beer. But we're not gonna act like these groups of people don't have countries behind them. You can't do the Asians like that or you won't get any fucking business in Asia. You can't do them like that. You can't do certain countries like that because you won't get any business. You can't treat the Europeans bad. You can't treat the Asians bad. You can't treat the Chinese bad. You can't because they have countries that will speak up for them. Don't nobody give a fuck about black Americans, man. The Africans don't give a fuck about black Americans, man. Like, let's be real. When they was running around punching Asians the fuck out, y'all remember they was doing point them out, knock them out, knocking out all the Asians. Those Asian countries wasn't having that shit. They started doing marches and protests and was talking shit. That's why. They ass got countries behind them.
Hey, fatherless rate, Asian, only 16%. Black, 63%. Whew. Let's look at homework per week. Asian, no surprise here, they do 134 minutes on average. Black, 36.
They were only assigned 90.
Jeez. Look at the IQ, 115 for Asian. Black, 85. Look at percent of murders that are being committed by Asians in this country, 1%. Black, 44%. How?
And that's another misnomer. It's like when you say black Americans don't care for black Americans, that is absolutely false. That's false. That is not true at all. See, you take a certain group, certain algorithms, and what you're seeing on your feed, and you try to generalize all black people like that. No, black people care about fucking black people. I didn't mean to say it like that. No, Diddy. Black people care about black people. It's just that when black people show that they care about black people, it's a problem. It becomes some other shit.
How can you see this across the board? We're the same starting off point. In other words, none of you have a head start. None of you were given a handicap. How do they outperform you in every single metric? I don't hear them saying they're better than you and you're beneath them. I hear maybe you feeling that way. And you know what? I probably would too if I looked at those numbers. Check the references, 11 a.m. Eastern. It's subjective.
Yes, if I looked at the data says that. The Asians aren't telling you that. The data is telling you that.
And there is an Asian named Data, and he would tell you that.
He would also tell you that.
After you fall into his booty trap.
You know what Asians don't have? Asian Americans? They don't have community leaders like Killer Mike. That wouldn't even get started. They'd be like, oh, we want to have a leader, or we'll call him Killer Mike.
No. Killer, no.
No, bad name. We don't want to be associated with murder.
Maybe Happy Smiley #1 Mike.
Yes. Maybe great ally to white American Mike.
Look at the income. You look at the starting off point. No, it's never suburban white areas.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right, man. We kind of know where he's coming from, man. I broke that shit down good, man. What else was I gonna cover? It was something else I was gonna cover. All right, we'll cover this right quick. And I was gonna get into that Candace shit, but I don't think we're gonna have time.
An update to our top story. The FBI announcing it stopped a plot to attack the White House UFC event. The Secret Service spoke about this at an unrelated event.
We're going to talk about the 1-year-old tonight, Miss Bones. This really is just a pop out live. I'm trying to try a couple of things to get out of this shadow ban. We'll cover that 1-year-old on the real show tonight.
This is still...
I was just getting on here for an hour this morning, to try to get the algorithm going.
An active, ongoing investigation. Just because we're done with Freedom 250 or that particular event doesn't mean we're going to stop. There are still suspects at large, and we're going to work it until everyone's been identified. I'd say it was unique due to the numbers involved, the level of planning involved. It was an active plot, yes, involving purported claim to be plan to use drones, snipers, etc. We've seen a significant increase in threat cases. We're up 40% this year in threat cases.
David Spun is live in Washington. New images just unsealed. David, what did you find?
Well, Kaylee, this is a story that deals with many different suspects in many different states, and we are learning, looking through these documents, that a mother in Ohio had the courage to call authorities on her 19-year-old, and she expressed some concern, and she may have blown this entire case open. His name is 19-year-old Tyson Proper, and he was picked up after she called authorities on June 10th, just a few days ago. This was 4 days before the UFC fight. We want to show some images. The first image, I believe, that we're going to show is a rifle that belonged to her son, according to authorities. The other is a screen grab, several screen grabs showing aerial images and maps of the Washington, D.C. area and discussing where snipers possibly would be related to the White House. This is all evidence that is posted on an official court docket right now, an official government document. But I will say 19-year-old Tyson Proper's mother called police after she was concerned about his purchases and communications with people online. It then led them to conversations that he allegedly had with someone named Brian Roa and Michael Thomas in Southern California. They appeared yesterday before a federal judge. We're also told that there is a suspect in Nebraska and one in Missouri as well. So what we're being told here, Kaylee, and everyone on the couch, is that this alleged plot consisted of a plan to have drones that were actually armed with some type of firepower go and attack buildings around the White House. And once people left, they were going to have snipers nearby attacking some of the people leaving. This was a serious plot. The FBI, the Secret Service investigating this right now. And as you heard the deputy director of the Secret Service right there say that they believe there are more people out there. Right now, though, 5 people.
Yeah, I'm going to be honest, Max. It is the usual suspects. When some shit like this go on, it is the usual suspects, man.
Facing these charges, and it's incredible to go through these documents and see what happened. But it appears that it was this 19-year-old's mother in Ohio who really spilled the beans on this entire case by letting people know that she had some concerns about her son, Kaylee.
Thank goodness that mom did that. And that 19-year-old is the one I mentioned who was alleged to use his graduation money to purchase these weapons. Wow, David, thank you for this update.
Thanks, Kaylee.
Paul, I want to pull up that image. So that is one of the weapons, but it's jarring when you look at these aerial photos. Yeah. It looks like
No, not the groupers. Your white men aged 19 to 45 or 50, they kind of be the ones doing this type shit. When it comes to like terror plots and mass shootings and capture, it's normally a white man anywhere between like 19 and 50. Let's be honest.
like an aerial photo of the White House ellipse, and they are plotting where to put snipers with these photos and where drones should be launched as well.
Yeah, so I would make a couple of quick points. Number one, this mother is a hero. She saved lives. It sounds like, look, we had cases like this where we would go talk to the parents and literally say to them, you have a 17-year-old that's going down a very, very bad path here, and you'd rely on the parents to try to get out in front of it, and sometimes it doesn't work. The kid turns 18, and then you have to arrest him because he's trying to go overseas to fight with ISIS. Secondly, this is going to be the overt acts that they're going to lean on, and there's going to be more. What do I mean? You got a conspiracy. For a conspiracy, you need an overt act to show that it was active. Their defense is going to be, we were just talking, we were just expressing our dissatisfaction.
Chad, hit the like button.
No, when you have the meeting of the minds for a plot like this, and then you take, that's the operative term, an overt act, then you got enough to charge with probable cause. Surveillance photos, things like that, overt act.
Emily, and let me just read a little bit more about this 19-year-old Tyson, Proper. Allegedly spent the $3,000 I mentioned of his graduation money to purchase lots of ammunition, guns, extra magazines, and other things for the alleged attack. He had quit his job to meet up with people he had met online to conduct missions and recons. And his mom's phone call stopped this.
Indeed, missions and recon. I mean, this guy was radical. He's like,
look, this is how I know we coming out of the shadow band. Hit the like button, Chad. We got Get Down Demon. Why are all you jobless moon crickets on YouTube talking stupid nonsense about shit your low IQ has no idea how to comprehend? Well, you ran up against the right one. Get Down Demon, because I'll drop a phone number and we can have a conversation. Let's see where your IQ really is. Let's see how well you enunciate really. Let's see how well you speak. Let's see if you get a little nervous. Call in, man. You want the phone number? I'll drop it just for you, Demon, because I got time today. I got a little time. I'll stop the show for this shit. Yeah, I'll stop the show for this shit, Demon. Let me know when you're ready for the phone number.
I also note that in his interview with the FBI, he immediately gave up the two names in California. Those are the men, 24-year-old and a 31-year-old that we were talking about, Roa and Michael Allen Thomas, that according to our brain room here, that individual had a prior for unlawful carrying in December 2014 in El Paso County. The same report suggests he may have served time in state prison. And the other one was a security guard whose license expired in April. So these guys had access to weapons unlawfully that had been expired, but the whole point is they were known to law enforcement for various things, and this guy in Ohio thought he was going to go play Rambo.
And they found this weapon on your screen, Kennedy. They also found ammunition estimated by law enforcement to be in the thousands of rounds of ammunition.
Wow, it is not easy to get ammunition. I mean,
Moon cricket is a derogatory term for black people. He's trying to get me roused. He wants me to chimp out, but no. I'm just gonna invite him on to see how well he speaks. Let's see where his IQ really is. Let's have a conversation. You know, they do the little shit. Moon crickets, porch monkey, blah, 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 chimping out. Yeah, call in, man. Call in. That's all it is. Call in, man. Let's see. Let's see where you at. See how he left? He's not even gonna talk anymore because he didn't expect to get checked. He's not used to people responding to him. Nobody responds to him in real life. Nobody responds to him in the virtual world either. That's why he said that shit and got the fuck on soon as I pressed the gas on his ass, man. Pressed the gas on his ass. He swiped up on the live, scared.
I mean, it depends what state you're in. In New York here, it's almost impossible. I mean, you have to go through a background check, which is a pain in the keister. So that's a lot of ammunition for one 19-year-old. It's also, especially under the Obama administration, they tried to make ammunition so much more prohibitively expensive so people wouldn't be able to buy it. I just want to say shout out to the nosy moms. Don't feel bad going through your kids' stuff. That's your job, and they'll have plenty of freedom when they.
I agree with her. Get in your kids' business. Everyone get in your child's business. I don't care if they're almost an adult, 17, 18, 16. Hey, get in their business, especially if they're in your house. Get in their business. Get it. Check that backpack. Check that backpack. Go outside and look in that car. Pop the trunk. Check the ashtray. All that shit. Hey, Hey, check the ashtray. Glove compartment, man. Get in them kids' business.
Leave the house, but as long as they're living with you, feel free to snoop, girl.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
Great point.
Yeah, I mean, my heart breaks for the mom. Imagine having to call law enforcement on your own son and then discovering that this was his plot and this was his plan. I also look at that gun on our screen, an American flag. And what makes me sad is you look at all these young people involved in this plot, this is probably their idea of patriotism. Because of the brain rot in our countries, both in schools and online, that they think that carrying out, trying to assassinate the president or whatever the motive we end up finding out was, that somehow that is patriotic. That is not how I view, or I know anyone on this couch views patriotism. So I think that's the deeper problem when earlier, during the A block, we were talking about the extremism in this country. But they probably think that that's their patriotic duty.
Yes, well, more details coming in by the moment. We will keep you updated on this really chilling story. More Outnumbered in just a moment.
Hey everyone, I'm Emily Campagno. Catch me and my co-hosts Harris Faulkner and Kaylee McEnany on Outnumbered every weekday at 12 p.m. Eastern, or set your DVR. Also,
so I'm going to stand up for my people.
No way they're damn scared. To hear if anything from today.
I would love to hear that.
So this is the protest. They said the police unloaded into a car in Mississippi and unalived the 1-year-old. We're going to cover this tonight because it's news to me. I don't know anything about it. This is the first video I'm watching, and this is the protest. It's in Senatobia. I've never heard of Senatobia. I believe this is in Mississippi.
Officer that did the fatal shooting be terminated. He should not be at home on any kind of leave or payment. He should be terminated. I think he should face consequences.
I did see that video of the girl that got threw off the damn cliff with no bungee. I did see that. Somebody took off running and everything. They say like 5 or 6 people been detained because of it, but that's why I don't do that shit. All of that fear factor shit, skydiving, jumping out of planes, bungee jumping and shit, I'm not with it. I'm not with none of that shit, man. Do it look like they made me to jump out of a fucking plane or off a cliff with a damn cord attached to me? Fuck no. Excuse my language, it's the morning show. No, they didn't. I'm not doing that shit. Don't invite me. Don't care. I'm not going. What?
He should be charged with first-degree murder because I feel like it was intent. The car was moving. How can you shoot at a moving car? You seen the child get in the car and you still took that shot. You are heartless and God will deal with him.
What's
if
up,
nobody else
Leland?
will, God will.
And can you just tell me your name? You don't have to tell me the first name.
My name is Kanisha.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Kanisha.
Kanisha, can you spell that?
Kenesha.
Thank you so much for
You're
your time.
welcome.
I appreciate
Thank
it.
you, guys.
Thank you.
Because you are my voice.
Sure, thank you. We
You're
appreciate
welcome.
you sharing
Thank
that with us.
Listen, I'm in here chilling. This guy comes in here saying, keep dividing everyone for money. What are you talking about? For views and money? The title of the show is Trump is in a Bind, Why Steven Crowder Never Argues in Good Faith, and what's next for Candace. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Leland comes through supporting the channel via Super Chat. Thank you, Leland, for always showing up and supporting me, man, even throughout all of this. I've been shadow banned. I haven't been seeing y'all, but I'm glad y'all are popping back out. It's looking like we might be making it out of the shadow ban. Didn't I tell y'all, chat? I got some I've been doing this YouTube shit for a minute now. I know what's going on.
Premises here is trying to make sure that they say everything remains safe out here. Now, to walk you through some of what had happened here, as you mentioned, the Tate County Sheriff's Office stated that there was an incident that occurred at a Walmart on US 51 here. MBI tells us that the officers responded to a shoplifting call at the Walmart, but when officers arrived, they saw two people and a child, said to be 2-year-old Cohen Wiley, according to his mother on Facebook, who were leaving the store and getting into the car. Officers then tried to stop the car, but investigators say the driver drove toward those officers, nearly striking one of them. At that point, an officer fired their weapon. Then the car then left the scene. The occupants later arrived at a hospital, and that child was pronounced dead. The officer did not face any major injuries, according to the Mississippi Bureau of Investigation. Now, again, you can see many of these people filing.
So what justified him shooting in the car? Are they trying to say he was in the way of the car? Is this a Renee Good situation? Why did the officer shoot into the moving car? Is this a Renee Good situation where he says his life was in danger?
Into City Hall, holding up signs in support of Cohen and his family.
Maverick, you said you ain't seen me pop up. That's why you got to subscribe and hit all notifications, man. I be telling y'all this shit. When I'm over here talking this shit, eventually they're not going to like it. I go through shadow bans and shit a lot. Join the Discord, turn on all post notifications and shit, man. I tell y'all this shit, not just to be talking, but because we go through shit on this channel, man. They hate us off the internet over here.
Here, we just spoke with a woman who said that she is a black mother and she understands a lot of the difficulties and a lot of the sadness, even though she did not know the family that was impacted by this. Now, within the next hour, we are expected to hear more remarks from Mississippi officials and expected to learn more about the officer who was involved in this case. We will continue to speak to more people as this rally unfolds.
Can I define a woman if you were born with the kuka? You were born with the kuka, man, and you can have babies. Hey, you're a woman. What do you mean?
Folds as you're hearing these chants and other things. People have been walking the streets, very passionate about this and really seeking a lot of answers at this time. And of course, I will bring that to you. But for now, live in Senatobia, Mississippi, I'm Lauren Turman, ABC 24 News.
All right, hold on. Let me find the article. There's not many news stories out. That's just a protest. There's not many news stories out. It's pretty much everybody giving their opinion, but I need to know what happened. Like, what happened? I've yet to find out what happened. Oh man. It's sounding like they're gonna try to say it's a Renee Good situation.
A shattered window and bullet hole in the windshield. The aftermath of a deadly police shooting in Senatobia, Mississippi that resulted in the death of 1-year-old Cohen Wiley. The shooting sparking outrage.
I'm more angry because the situation that took place really was unnecessary. What I'm hearing from what happened, it was unnecessary.
According to investigators, the shooting, which took place Sunday in this Walmart parking lot, occurred when officers responded to a shoplifting call involving 2 adults and a child. Authorities say the 2 adults, now identified by the family's lawyer as the boy's mother and her friend, tried to get away, driving toward and nearly hitting an officer. Another officer then firing at the car. In this video, officers can be seen running. One witness telling a local reporter of the 2 adults. One was carrying the child, the other a box of diapers.
Policeman shot, open fire in a public setting over allegedly some Pampers.
Investigators say the trio ended up at a local hospital where the 1-year-old was pronounced dead. One of the adults suffering critical injuries. No officers were injured. The family of Cohen Wiley now distraught and demanding answers.
I don't know anything right now. My grandson gone. I just want justice.
Tonight, the Mississippi Bureau of Investigation is now investigating the shooting. George Solis, NBC News.
All right. Wow. So they are trying to say it's like a Renee Good situation. Wow. I got to see the video. Where's the body cam? Where's the body cam? If we're going to make the determination and they're going to try to say, that this was a Renee Good situation. His life was in jeopardy. We got to see the body cam, man. Release the footage. Release the footage. But yeah, chat, double tap that screen, share the live out. I do want to stay on, but I gotta. I do want to stay on, but I gotta get to the kids, man. I gotta get to the kids. We got a day plan. We gonna hang out, and I'll be back tonight, though. I'll be back tonight. What's up, Leo? What's up, everybody? Be sure to. We'll be live at 10 p.m. Central Time tonight. If y'all don't see me on the feed, look for me. We are shadow banned. We are shadow banned. So look for me. Good night, chat.